Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to this very special episode of Ask AWM. This is the Busking special. I'm going to take you guys busking with me today. I'm going to talk to you about everything from equipment to busking etiquette to some real handy hints and tips when you're busking. But it starts right here. This is all the equipment that I'm going to use today, and I'm going to basically show you everything that I've got and that I use when I go busking. Number one is my battery powered amp. This is the AER Compact Mobile. It's one of the more expensive ones. It's a beautiful sounding amp. You don't have to go crazy and spend as much on your busking amps. This was about £1,400, which is a lot, but if you're going to use it a lot and you're going to earn your money back, it's worth it. But if not, you can pick up little rolling street cubes for a couple of £100 that do a very similar job. This amp here, full charge overnight, and it'll give me about 3.5 hours of power. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to pack up my amp. I always stick everything on a trolley because whenever you go anywhere you don't quite know where you're going to park. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about parking and stuff in a minute as well, because I've got some more tips for you about that. But anyway, I always pack my stuff on a trolley so I don't have to carry it everywhere. So I've got my battery powered amp, followed by, this is my case. This case is empty, it has no guitar in it. The reason I take this with me is because it advertises my name with all my Facebook page and everything like that. Some people have signs saying go and follow me on Facebook. This is like my sign, this is like my case. I stick this on the floor so that if anybody's walking past and they hear a song and they like it and they want to know more about me, they can have a look there. They won't always come up and talk to you because you might be halfway through a song, so if you've got a sign or something up where they can go and have a look and get their phone out and follow you, that's a bonus. So that goes on there. I always take that up a little bit as well. Stick some tape on there. There you go. Next up is my CDs. I always take some CDs with me in case anybody wants to buy a CD. But I also be a little bit clever about it with the sign. Now, you can't officially sell CDs when you're out busking because you need like a market trader's license and that kind of stuff. However, I put this little sign up when I busk. CDs, £5, suggested donation. That means that basically I'm giving my CDs away, but I'm saying if you want to donate, you can stick some money in there, but I'm not going to charge you for it. That way you get around it a little bit. You run the risk of someone picking up a CD and doing a runner without paying you, but that's never happened to me in 10 years. So yeah, so I've got my CDs here. This little carry bag will have all my cables, microphone, tuner pedal, bottle of water, jumper, because if it gets cold you've got to prepare for all weathers. So little bag there with everything that you possibly need. On top of that, mic stand. Yes, I have been busking before and forgot my mic stand, which was a nightmare. I had to go and buy one in a music shop, so automatically you lose half a day's wages of busking. So I have my mic stand again, tape it up to the side of my trolley. Job done. I'll do a better job of taping this up, I think. Alright, so now I am fully mobile, and then all I'll do is carry my guitar, and I've got my trolley there, so literally when I park up I can just take everything. This is all I need, guitar, trolley, and I'm done. And that's me set for the day. So let's go and do this. So we're on the way to Cambridge for today's little busking session, and I thought now's a good time to kind of share with you guys a few little hints and tips and things I've picked up over the years that I think can really help you with your busking. The first one is, I touched on it earlier when I spoke about parking and the reason I pack all my stuff up on a trolley. If you're going somewhere, a busy town centre, say for example like me today, I'm going to Cambridge, it's probably going to cost me about a tenner in petrol to get there anyway. But also, if I parked in a big car park in the middle of the town, it's probably going to cost me at least another tenner for another 3 or 4 hours parking. So that means I'm 20 quid out of pocket before I've even started busking. And bearing in mind, you never know what you're going to get on these days. I've had days where I've been out for 4 hours and made like 30 quid.
So if you have to take out, you know, petrol money, parking money, then all of a sudden you're dipping into everything you earn. So I always try and find a car park, a cheap one, or even somewhere I can park for free. But that sometimes means that you've got to walk a bit of a distance from where you park to get to the town centre where the people are. But for me, it's worth it. It's worth having that if it's a 15-minute walk to get there, but it saves you dipping into your money that you earn, it's worth it. So that's the first thing, is think about your parking. Second thing is think about how you're setting things up as well. And this is something I touched on in a previous episode when I was giving some tips out. When you put your case out for people to put money in, if you put it right next to your feet, people are very reluctant to come right up to you. It's your own, you know, it's your personal space, and people are reluctant to come into that. Whereas if you put your case out, even just 4 or 5 yards away from your feet, from where you're busking, people are more likely to come past and put money in, because they don't have to walk all the way up to you and disturb you, or you know, get in the way at all. So they're more likely to put some money in. So always put your case out a little bit further away. And the third thing is, what you put in your case when you first start busking kind of sets the standard for everybody else to put stuff in. So if you start off with nothing in your case, with an empty case, you kind of set the standard that you're expecting nothing, if you know what I mean. If you just put a load of 2p's and 1p's and a load of coppers in your case when you start, people will walk past that, see that, and they think that that's what they're expected to put down. So you're likely just to get people chucking in handfuls of change and coppers and things like that. Now, if you start off busking with some pound coins, some 50p's, even the odd £5 note in your case, that sets the standard, and that makes people think that that's kind of what you expect and what other people are putting in, so they should put in the same. So you're more likely to get people putting in them kind of things. So that's another thing to think about, is what you put in your case when you start. And the last little bit of advice I want to give you now is, again, talking about where you're setting up. I always try and look for somewhere like a coffee shop, like maybe a Starbucks or a Costa, or somewhere that has some outside seating nearby. Now, I won't set up directly outside the seats, because people in a coffee shop, they probably want to be talking to their friends and sitting at the table, and if you're right in front of them, you become a bit of a nuisance. You might be too loud. However, if you're 10, 20 yards down the road and they can actually hear you and you're kind of background music for them while they're having their coffee, rather than people who walk down past the street, you know, if you're walking through the street and you walk past a busker, you've probably heard about 30 seconds of one of their songs. You might chuck 50p in the case. If you've sat outside a coffee shop and been listening to them for half an hour, then you've had a good bit of entertainment, and people are more likely to come up to you when they've finished their coffee and stick like a fiver in your case, because you've entertained them for that long, you know, if they've enjoyed it. So there's another thing to think about. So yeah, just a few little tips for you guys, and let's crack on and get doing this, shall we? Let's get busking. Okay, so we're all set up in Cambridge. You can see I've got my CDs there with my suggested donation sign. Got a few coins in my case, which is a few yards away from my mic stand. I've been in both the shops next door to each other and asked if they mind if I busk out here. Both have said it's okay. So we're going to crack on and do a little bit. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we've been here for about an hour and a half, so that kind of gives you a rough idea of roughly what you can do. I sold a few CDs, there's a few coins, a few notes in there, so it's been a good little session. Yeah, good fun. Right guys, so we got a final total after taking out, I took £3 out from my car park. I also took the money out that I started with. And this is what we got left. So final count up, we have got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds, and probably about £2 maybe there. It's about £82 for an hour and a half. So yeah, that's not a bad little busking session.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed that Ask AWM Busking special. If there's anything else you want to know, if there's any questions you got, hit me up with them. Do me a favour please, give this video a like and a share if it's helped you at all. Thank you very much.